didn't believe in flat earth. Yes, you most certainly did say that.
Oh, no.
Absolutely.
No.
Don't you
You're
shout
not
me down in
gonna
my
do
own
it.
church.
Listen to me. I never said, and then this is a fact.
Absolutely you did.
I preached this for years. Don't interrupt me.
If me being deceived means I believe in a spherical earth, I'm deceived, and you can just go ahead and leave and cancel this debate right now, because you're not going to convince me what the Bible clearly says. The earth is not flat, 1,000%. And if I got people in our church that think it is, that's great. I love you. But if you want to go to his little service in the morning, then go to his service in the morning. It's not going to bother me one bit. The earth is not flat. It was disproven 2,500 years ago. You can't show me one verse in the Bible that proves that the earth is flat. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. We're not going to get anywhere else, because here's the problem. You use 2 hours of PowerPoint presentation and your people are quiet. I use an hour and 15 minutes of the Bible and they get mad and start throwing maters and taters at me.
First of all,
hello, is it sunrise or not?
Not at all. I don't agree with you.
Turn his mic off. Get out.
Wow.
You're a Bible denier. If you go to this church and you're upset about me taking the Bible in its context and dealing with it, and you're going to keep sowing that discord, don't ever come back. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not listening. It's a last days deception. I do not care if this is a UFC smackdown to the mat. I would highly suggest that people keep their mouth shut, get in their car, and go where they need to be. We'll see you at 10:30 in the morning.
Oh, my goodness. I saw at the end there were people marching behind him, protesting with flags, a mic drop. First of all, why are you collectively doing 3+ hours of a PowerPoint on this? And were they throwing taters at him?
Maters. Mater. Don't forget the maters.
Right. So
maters and taters.
I would go just to take a peek at this church, maybe wear a helmet and hazmat suit. But Pastor Locke kicks flat earther out of church during debate. Is this what we have to look forward to in Atlanta? And Trump and Biden get together? No audience, though. Look, during a nearly 4-hour debate on December 2nd, 2023, MAGA pastor Greg Locke would ultimately kick out flat earther pastor Dean Odle. What can only be described as hilarious, bizarre. Yes, a lost episode of The Twilight Zone. Flat Earth is an archaic, scientifically disproven conception of the Earth's shape as a plane or disk. But the model has undergone a resurgence in recent years among conspiracy theorists, especially among those on the right.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
Yeah. You just want to believe this stuff. I'm going to let you take it, Fran, because I'm still trying to understand what I even saw here, why there was the need for this debate.
I mean, what's crazy about this is that, like, you rarely see an extremist call out another extremist for being too extreme. And I'm not saying that Pastor Locke is necessarily an extremist, but I'm just the vibe of the church. I'm like, this is some like, he regularly preaches about like wokeness and things like that. But it is nice. It sort of reminds me of the John McCain moment when that woman on the campaign trail was like, Obama's a Muslim, and and he was like, no, ma'am, nope. And he like grabs the mic from her because he's like, look, I'm trying to get the conservative vote, but not the crazy vote. And so you see that here. I'm trying to preach, Christian values, not crazy values. So I always like when they sort of take each other on and hold one another accountable. Here's my problem though. He uses the Bible as evidence that the earth is not flat. I wouldn't go with one of the least scientific texts ever to prove a scientific reality. In fact, the Bible was used against people who prove that the earth was flat like Galileo, right? Like prove the earth was round like Galileo. This was the whole point, was that it was anti-religious to say that the earth was round, right? Like that, and the Bible was used. So don't look at the Bible as your source here. This Bible is full of parables. We know what they're stories. They're made up. They're interpretations of what God maybe didn't probably say. Like that's what the Bible is. But it's just so funny that we are backtracking so far, Sharon, like that we're redoing the Enlightenment, right? Like we have to like refight that fight. We're like, you know what? I think when the sun goes away, is because it's God's armpit that's just smuggling the sun star, like whatever. Like This is truly where we're at. And so it doesn't surprise me that flat earth ideology is taking hold in Christianity again.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And as I was thinking about what Pastor Locke did, right? Saying I'm tired of this, conspiracy theory or whatever, even if his method of using that book isn't sound. And I wondered to myself, why can't you help Dr. Fauci, who still has to have security?
Right.
I mean, Dr. Fauci is still being just blasted. He has his book out, and I saw this one expert where he opened mail. He accidentally opened some mail, and it had some powder in it. And everyone said, clear of him. He had to strip down naked. He was sprayed with things by people in hazmat suits who told him, one of three things could happen. You'll either die in the next couple of minutes, or it's nothing, or you're going to get very sick because it could be ricin or something, whatever it was.
Right.
None of it looked good. So I wonder why Pastor Locke was so bothered by this. But, and that was at the top of perhaps it really seemed to get under his skin, his priority list here, Fran, when can he debunk some other nonsense so we can get back to some semblance of business?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. Again, it's just wild to me. I mean, the problem is that you see Pastor Locke, you see someone like that, and they're holding back the craziest, fringe of current Christian thinking, right? Not representative of all Christians in this country by a long shot, but you see the way it takes hold. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Pastor Locke in a couple years is like, our church welcomes our arms to all people, everyone who believes that the earth is spherical, flat, or concave. We accept the concavists. You'll do anything for a buck. You're already in a grift, which is mass organized religion, in my opinion. And it's just like, how long, if you can't beat them, join them situation. I mean, that's basically what Trump did. And he's now their king because they believe in nothing.
Goodness. And I wonder if, the grift, I can't argue with it. I do wonder if when you say they're going to open up concave, that was funny. What about transgender?
Oh, sure.
Gay?
Yeah.
I mean,
is
there hope?
We have room for the flat earthers, but never trans people.
Imagine that.
Because our loving God, Sharon, would want us to make sure people live miserable lives and do not get the care and support that they need. That's incredible to me that in the same breath, people can defend their Christian morals and also hate gay people, trans people.
Yeah, it makes me wish that in some ways the earth was flat, because I would, and remember when it was being discovered, by the way, Native Americans, the indigenous people were here. Thank you. You did not discover this, Christopher. But it makes me wish sometimes it was a little flat. Remember, they thought Columbus very boldly thought he could fall off the face of the earth. If it were flat, I'd round up some of these people and I'd say, I want you to just keep walking south. Go south. Okay. Don't stop. Okay. You can rest a little bit, but I want you to just keep going. And then, okay. And I don't know where they go. Do they fall to another island or something somewhere? I don't know. But if you think the earth is flat, I'm going to let you have that one. Okay. And I don't see why I wouldn't.